You know what it is. It's me, it's your boy Scepterpan, and you're back for another one of these videos, as I do declare. This week, we're doing some of the outer regions of Jestercrest, two independent little sections here at the cliff side, and on the other side, the flip side, the top side, the back side, the front side, east side, west side, you know. Actually, it's just the northeast side. We're doing Old Palms, which I'm looking very much forward to. But before, we're trying to do this hillish terrain, which I don't know. It kind of gives me this feeling of more. Basically, the theme for this, because most of the city I tried to keep very medieval. Like, you know, I told you about it in the last episode, right? It's just a little bit of a generic. Could be almost anywhere in Europe. It's just a city-state, right? But these parts, I particularly tried to imagine them as areas that are, you know, Mediterranean, just nice and sunny, and with a lot of hillish landscaping, with some nice cliffs and bluffs, and you know, all that good stuff. So I thought that that fit in really nicely, and I haven't really seen anybody do that before. So I thought it was pretty great, as well as the houses on this hill that you have here, or this slope. Man, there's so many words for it, right? They have pretty good coverage. Like, they have a very nice view of most of the area of the map. So I think you know, it's a pretty nice place to live. Even though there's just like one giant road that leads all the way through it with some offshoots. These small little, well, offshoots, right? These small little roads that come off of it. Initially, as you see me doing here, I tried to make all of it high residential to keep in line with the building types of the rest of Jestercrest, but in the end, I actually decided to opt out of that and just go ahead and make it low residential, because honestly it doesn't really quite fit to have such tall buildings right here on the edge of cliffs. It just looked a little strange, particularly because these buildings are kind of supposed to be row houses, so houses that are supposed to, you know, align with each other once they're in a row, and then it cuts off at the corner or whatnot. And that's whatnot. It's my favorite word. But you know, so that's it. Just it wouldn't work for me. It didn't look right, so I changed that up later on, doing a couple of changes, as well as trying to get the amenities in there, like bus routes, schooling. You saw me put down you know, the fire department. If I had an arson to light up your entire apartment. You know, just try to connect this neighborhood, which is called Vulturenest, or Vulturenest. Vultures? I always do this. I did the same with Priest Ridge, I believe, or something else in my initial video. So whatever, man. Love is in the air. So this is the other part. This is Old Palms, which in my head, it has the shape of a bird. You know, it's kind of like this wing. The shape of a bird. It's a wing. Man, you really need to think before you speak, man. Anyway, I just tried to create this very dynamic shape in the roads, which I think the way that it looks right there looks really great, even though you probably don't have as much benefit of it as when you're you know, down in the streets and not looking top down on it. But it has two major intersections where I wanted to make trade hubs. But I'll talk about that in a little bit. First, I'm gonna let you sit back and not listen to my fucking voice. Fuck.
Soy un hombre del pueblo, harto de trabajar. Mi vida es el trabajo, paloma, pero me pagan mal. Las leyes están hechas a favor del patrón. La ley no escucha al pueblo, paloma, aunque tenga razón. Que no, paloma, no, que así que no trabajo yo. Que no, palomita, que así que no trabajo yo. El deber del trabajo, dicen que tengo yo. De mis deberes hablan, paloma, de mis derechos no. Pero nos uniremos contra la explotación. La fuerza de la gente, paloma, siempre estará en la unión. Que no, paloma, no, que así que no trabajo yo. Que no, palomita, que así que no trabajo yo. Nos juzgan y condenan en nombre de la paz. Cada vez que pedimos, paloma, justicia y libertad. Pero la paz tú eres y con ellos no estás. Que vuelas con nosotros, paloma, paloma de la paz. Vuela, paloma, y di que así que no trabajo yo. Que no, palomita, que así que no trabajo yo. Vuela, paloma, y di que así que no trabajo yo. Que no, palomita, que así que no trabajo yo.
Yeah, so I hope that sets the mood a little bit. Because this area is, personally, I wanted to make it a kind of mix between my personal vision of what Spain and Portugal are like. So, of course, it was a Spanish song. I'm gonna piss off a lot of Portuguese people by saying what I just said. Good to know. No, but in my mind, it's because of the filter that I use, where everything kind of where everything turns this kind of radish. I thought it. To me, it always gives this sort of ambiance, besides just a tropical ambiance, very Mediterranean one. So my idea was to actually combine all sorts of things around the Mediterranean, or, well, Mediterranean things, such as the Italian city-states, which I've done by adding the Bell Tower of Florence, as you see, and this Spanish Academy. Kind of just combining all sorts of aspects of Mediterranean architecture and ambiance, kind of just the atmosphere, very... I don't really want to quite say typical things, but just things in my mind that strike me as very typical of Mediterranean areas. I was thinking of adding this houses of southern France district style, but I don't know, I don't want my CPU to explode or anything, so I opted out of that as well. Just deciding to keep going with high residential stuff because, you know, in the end I think that looks better anyway. Just a couple of overviews of the area. But in the end I didn't feel completely satisfied with the fact that I didn't really have a centerpiece. I really wanted the bell tower to be the centerpiece, but it wasn't enough on its own. So what I decided to do was actually one of the first times I've ever done it is what you see me doing here is create my own little park. So I'm gonna create this plaza here that's gonna fill up a really big area. If you can look at the size, and well, I couldn't imagine how big it was. I just knew it was gonna be pretty big. So Kevin McLeod, by the way, I love you, man. I love that guy. So I tried this a bunch of times just to get it in different places. I wasn't entirely happy with the train station. You saw me delete it before and try to change it with the Antwerp one, but the style did not fit whatsoever. I mean, it was, of course, European looking, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted. It also gave it cut off the harbor or bay area. Yeah, it didn't exactly turn out the way that I wanted. So I decided to just go back with the old train station anyway. It's not very obtrusive. Thank God that it's modern. I mean, So I thought it would better. Well, I thought it would. Man, I'm drunk all the time. I thought it would work better that way. So that's what I decided to do. Now my idea was, because as you see me doing there, is to delete the under textures or the floor mesh. I was thinking that it would just raise itself, you know, so that it wouldn't do that. But now, well, I saw in that little snippet right there, it doesn't actually do that. So I went back and I changed that. So no worries. I did that because you can only place 64 items inside of a lot. And of course it's way too little, because I wanted to do a flower pattern around this plaza, as well as a couple of trees. So in the end, I still am able to do that. You can just put, you know, grass there and it's fine. Also repositioned the church. Before it was kind of sectioned off by these very tiny roads, which I didn't think was at all realistic, especially because some of the parts of the city, like Jestercrest, all the canals have of course been reworked. They're not the historical way they were, so I decided to change that. Man, this song is way too happy. Oh, I love it though. But yes, again, this ambiance, this weird complementing factors of warm climates, where having very tropical things, which is the theme for this map, along with Mediterranean stuff. It's just really something I find particularly interesting to have this mash of ideals. You know, especially when looking at something as simple as, you know, castles. You know, in a Mediterranean environment, I always think it's a little striking. I mean, I'm from the northern regions of Europe, so to me that all seems a little out of place. Not necessarily, but it's a very different atmosphere from what you would see in Germanic or Nordic, well, fjords or forts or castles, etc., etc. But anyway, that's basically the idea for Old Palms, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next Wednesday. This has been Old Pams. Old Parmesan Pams.
I was partying, and this is my failure. Okay, I'll be honest. I'm not trying to.
I can see the sunrise sneaking above the canyon, filling my heart with happiness. feel so nice. Yes, you do.
So yeah, guys, it's been a video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time for another episode of Scepterpan, whatever. And yeah, love you, man. Goodbye.